Hey guys, this is Doug with Coldwarcollectors, and today I'm going to be talking about my Iraqi collection so far. Now, my collection currently consists of a Type 81 chest rig that was modified by the Iraqis, obviously seen there. A booklet about the instruction of how to use the PKM, basically how to take it apart, put it back together, proper firing position, etc. An M90 helmet, M9003 helmet, and a US M1 helmet, originally issued by the Iranians and then captured by the Iraqis during the Iran-Iraq War, and then captured by US troops during Desert Storm. Now, the one thing that's important is that the M9003 helmet, the one in the center, it was not made during the Cold War, but it's based off the M1991, which was experimented with during Desert Storm. I haven't seen any pictures of it, but I know that they existed. I've seen one that was a bring back, though. They're basically the exact same, except the tan on the actual helmet is a little bit darker, and the green on the inside of it is a little bit lighter. Now, the first thing I'm going to go over is the Type 81 chest rig. Now, Iraq bought a lot of chest rigs from China, plus they also made some of them for themselves. They also got some Pakis to make them on contract. Now, this one is obviously the Chinese-made one. You can see where it used to have the loops for the toggles, but they were cut off and replaced with metal snaps. These ones aren't as good as the ones that were made, like the Iraqi and the Paki made ones, but the snaps are decent. You can see that this was used for an extended period of time because of the wear and tear on this. That's where the magazine lips rubbed up against the fabric. Now, this is the grenade or oil pouch container. I just put paper in there. Same with that one. The back, obviously, there's a lot of stains on it. This is basically, the tie is kind of all messed up because it was just tied for a really long time. It obviously has the blue Chinese stamp, but on top of it is Arabic characters. And then obviously it has that scratched out with a marker and then with a number on there. It's in relatively okay shape. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the M90 helmet. Obviously, these were made somewhat to replace the M80 helmet, which was made in South Korea, but these were worse quality than the M80s. But both of these were used during Desert Storm, and some were even used during the US invasion in '03. Now, it has a bit of cracks on it. It has this rubber lip so that it prevents obviously the burn from getting damaged because it's really fragile, and so you can put a camouflage net on it. The inside of it, standard riddle system, but not as adjustable. The chin strap, I've seen different types. I've seen the thick type. This is the thin type, that's the non-adjustable one. I've seen thin types that have it so you have the slider so you can adjust it, but this one's not adjustable at all. And it has the Jaish. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but it has the Jaish in there, which is the military acceptance stamp, meaning that it's property of the Iraqi government. Obviously, the M9003, as I said before, this is a post-Cold War, but it's basically the same as the M1991. As I said before, the green's a little bit lighter, but the chin strap is exactly the same on it. Now, I don't think this is the best chin strap. It's adjustable, but it probably wouldn't be that durable if you actually had to use it in combat because it's these two little metal tabs. It also has this that can go down a little bit on the neck, but it's hard to adjust on the back of your neck. And the camouflage netting is removable, but I don't want to remove it. Next one is the M1 that was used by the Iranians at first. So what happens, it has Arabic scratched onto the side. I don't know what that is. I honestly don't know. Farsi written on marker on one side. And then another possible Farsi number written on the back. It has stress marks on the back of it, which are these cracks. Now, it has two chin straps. Both of them have been cut. I think that they've both been cadaver cut, though. The inside of it's pretty disgusting. But you can see that this was the original chin strap, probably, and it has like a snap there. So probably what happens, they didn't have the original US liner, so they made like a replacement chin strap. And then they did that, and then the Iraqis cut that off, made another one. Then there's this, which is a booklet about, obviously, how to use the PKM. I'm not certain if the plastic bag's original, I don't know. But since it's in Arabic, you read from right to left, not left to right. So this is the back of the book. Normally, obviously, you think that you would be reading it this way, but you read it from this way. Now, the thing that's interesting, it has some of the drawings from the Soviet instruction booklet, which is just something I noticed on all these ones that are prior to Desert Storm, as well as some of the Desert Storm ones. They all have drawings from the Soviet booklet. I'm just going to find one of them. So what happens is, there were a bunch of booklets I was bidding on eBay. There was one for the SKS, which as far as I know, only ceremonial use. But the thing that was interesting, the manual was printed in 1981. But the thing that's also weird is I've seen some Mausers being used for ceremonial use, but it just varies most of the time. So here's one of the drawings from the Soviet booklet. Obviously it has a Soviet showing the proper entrenched method of how to shoot the PKM. And it also has a chart on how to set up the anti-aircraft mount. Obviously there, and it tells you about it. And it also tells you about fire support, like basically linear ambush, etc. Rangefinder, and some reason why it has how to paradrop, but I'm not certain if it's just a strange booklet. It also tells you about range finding as well, again, a couple other things as well. How to estimate range of the target. Then it also has, I believe this is like the glossary or the index in the back of it. Now, the other thing that's interesting about some of the booklets, I haven't really seen any ones that were made between 91 and 03, but I assume that they're different. But I could be wrong. So I think that's all. I'll probably get more Iraqi stuff later on.